right, let me adjust this a little bit. All right. Let me see if I can pull up the chat here on this phone. Give me 1 second. I should have just brought my computer in here. All right, cool. Lower the volume. And we are, hold on. Doing some rookie moves here, rookie moves. All right. Should have did this before, right? All right. What's up, everybody? It is Friday. This is the day where we absolutely crush it with questions, thoughts, ideas. We talk about certain subjects. We do a lot of things about the hustle. We talk about life. We talk about hustle. We talk about business. We talk about fees, shipping, Amazon. I mean, I could give you my opinion on when I used to sell on eBay, Mercari. There's so much stuff that has changed recently in the game. Like, literally, there's so much that's changed. Actually, let me move this phone right underneath my recording phone so that way I don't have to go like this to look at questions. I can just do this. So, welcome to the I don't even know what day it is. Welcome to the Friday night hustle hangout. This is where I take 1 day a week. We usually go an hour, sometimes we go over, but this is where I answer your questions. We talk about different things. We talk about things that are changing, things that are happening around, what's going on. And this is where we talk about it, right? We're just chilling. It's Friday night. Got my water handy, but I also got a little surprise handy. We also got, some apple juice. Salute to all my Italians out there. Happy Hanukkah to all my Jewish friends out there watching. So today there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. And what I want you to do is drop your questions in the chat area. Let me see who's in the chat. We see Colby in the building. Brian D'Souza, how you doing? Logan, always here. Thank you for showing up. Brian Stewart, we got Marvin K. We got Winnie. Thank you all for being here. I'm sure others will join as well. It is Friday, 6 o'clock. This does seem to be the better time to do these things than even like 5 o'clock. Or I even thought about doing it as late as 8 o'clock. But now that runs into my family life where we're putting our kids to bed and whatnot. So 6 o'clock seems to be the sweet spot. Even though sometimes 6 o'clock can be a little inconvenience, it's the best overall time. Let's see. Jay Wack in the building. The champ, how you doing? Butterfly Hustles, how are you? Anthony Vera, welcome to the hustle. And what I want to do is, let's see, early to the hustle. Thanks for being here. Vlogmas already over. Vlogmas is one of the first things. And let me just throw a disclaimer out there real quick. I am filming in my dining room, so I do have 2 kids and a wife. You might hear a little bit of a whine, a little bit of a cry every now and then, but my wife is handling damage control. So shout out to my wife, Lenny Nick Lifestyle, also on YouTube. So let's talk about, before we start answering some questions, let's talk about Vlogmas. Man, oh man, let's talk about Vlogmas. So from what I understand, Vlogmas was an idea started back in 2012 or 14. It was by a woman, I forget her name. You could do your research. And what she decided to do was to do a vlog every day from December 1st up until Christmas. This is what my researchers told me. This is what Vlogmas was. And I was a little late to the Vlogmas game because I didn't really find out about it until the 3rd, even though I may have heard it from my wife from her YouTube era. I think I've heard that term before, but I've never actually really understood or kind of dove into it. And on December 3rd, I decided to upload my first Vlogmas video. We called it Day 3 because there's no point in calling it Day 1 on the 3rd of the month. And what I did was I decided that I was going to upload every single day and challenge myself. Well, if you had if you had one of those right there, that would have just happened because man, oh man, I didn't upload yesterday. I didn't upload today. It is extremely hard and I was not prepared for Vlogmas. And listen, I can admit when I'm slacking, when I'm trying to do it, and it's not that I was slacking. There's a lot that goes into recording. Let me tell you what a typical day of Vlogmas would be, okay? I would wake up, come downstairs, have my morning coffee. You guys already know, right? Chill with my children, have breakfast, and then I would start working at about 8 or 8:30 at my 9 to 5 because I work from home, okay, with that. After that, I would be done at like 4:30 or so, okay? And then I would go out. You guys would see me go out to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Walmart, wherever it may be, and you'd see me throwing down the hustle, right? But it doesn't stop there because I'd leave at like 5:30 almost, missing dinner, right? I wouldn't have dinner till I came home. Leftovers that I left in the microwave that my wife would cook or grab something while I was out. Usually my wife cooks for everybody and I'll have my plate when I come home. And I wasn't eating until 7:30, sometimes 8 o'clock. I remember one time getting home 8:30. Eating really quick. My oldest daughter loves when I put her to bed. We have story time and everything. I put her to bed. That takes an hour. Now it's 9:30, right? 9:30. God forbid I want to shower, right? God forbid I want to do something. So I would come downstairs. Now it's 10 o'clock. Well, I gotta edit my video to put up the next day for Vlogmas, because I can't edit the next day because I'm working my 9 to 5. So literally from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed was all dedicated to working, Vlogmas, hustling, packing. So look, next year I respect the game. I respect Vlogmas. I respect everybody that's doing Vlogmas. And next year, I am going to be more, I don't even think that makes sense. I'm going to be better prepared for Vlogmas to give that commitment. So, as far as Vlogmas goes, you're going to see an upload almost every day, but you're not going to see, you're not going to see a video upload every single day. You'll probably see a video like I used to do 4 to 5 times a week. 7 times a week is extremely strenuous mentally, emotionally. There's a lot of pressure, especially with how crazy Amazon is right now with Christmas. The merchant fulfilled orders, packing FBA orders, going out and sourcing, giving time to your daughters, giving time to your wife. It's non-existent. You understand? It's very hardcore, and I respect. Shout out to everybody who does Vlogmas. So that's my Vlogmas. I wanted to get that out of the way. A lot of people asking me, shoot me in the DMs. How come no upload today, whatever, yesterday, how come no upload? It is what it is. I feel like I honestly had to do 10 days in a row because I still have a Vlogmas video for day 10, for the 10th that I did not upload, which I'm going to upload. But I made it 10 days on a late notice, and next year I'll be better prepared. So I hope that clears up any Vlogmas issues. I'm going to jump into the chat now and see what we have going on in the Hustle Chat. We're going to think of a better name for Hustle Chat, right? Hustle Chat's so like, Hustle Chat, I don't know. It doesn't go. Let's see. What's up? Woke up early today because it's the day of Hustle Hangout. Logan, big love, man. You're always here supporting the hustle. I really appreciate you being here. Brian Stewart says, get them dinners. So dinners, I mean, that's a lot of food to eat for dinners. We out here getting dinners with that Boston accent. Dinners. So it would be DINNAHS. Dinners. But thank you, Brian. Marvin says, Richie Hustles is the man. Keep crushing Q4, brother. I've been in the reselling game for 4 years, and your content always gets me pumped to hustle harder. Much love from Tennessee. Shout out to Marvin out in Tennessee. Thank you for tuning into the hustle. Look, I'm just an everyday guy, just like you, just like the next man, just like the next man. It is what it is. I'm just out here trying to do my thing. And if I could document my journey and help get people involved and show people, and I want to touch on something else that kind of piggybacks off this. Shout out to everybody getting out there hustling this Q4. Shout out to everybody doing the sacrifice that knows what it takes to be successful, whether you're sacrificing time with your family, sacrificing your own personal time, sacrificing just everything, putting everything on the line to try to get your business up and running. You guys deserve the love. Winnie says, let's go. That's right. The champ says, is that the Prince of the Saiyans in the building? Oh, you already know. The Vegeta Saiyan Prince. It's my favorite. He's the white ass. He's the white ass. He's the wise ass, badass of the Dragon Ball Z. I love my Vegeta. Thanks for noticing. I know you can only see the hair. You know what I'm saying? See, J-Wack says, hey, brother, what's good, J-Wack? Started a part-time job at Walmart stocking shelves. First chance at getting them dinners. Oh, so Brian Stewart is the man you got to look for when Brixie tells you to go get those items and you're not able to find them. Find Brian Stewart. He's going to help you out. Salute to Brian. Fuwei says, what's up? Butterwhite Hustle says, hi. Anthony Vera. Karen Jones says, yay, I didn't miss it. Hello from Washington State. Hello, Karen, 4,000 miles away from me. How you doing up in Washington State? Do you have a lot of snow up there yet? Low D, nonstop. Man, woman, whatever it is, nonstop is right. Richie on Postal, and we are slammed. I know, tell me about it. We can't move. J-Wag says, do you have an issue? And listen, guys, sorry. I notice on my videos when I do the playback, every now and then I have a moment. I get a really bad deviated septum, and sometimes I can't breathe. So it's not that I'm sick or that I have a runny nose. It's just that I'm physically blocked in my nose. So I apologize for the annoying sniff that I sometimes have to do. Hopefully one day I'll get surgery on it. That way I can fix that issue. Let's see. Do you have an issue? Products being delisted due to high pricing errors or unexpected listing errors. What do you do about it? So I used to. And what I do is basically, listen, here's the deal. Amazon's going to dictate to you what you can sell a product for. You can say to yourself, oh, this is super rare. I want to sell this for $1,000. But if Amazon says, only $200 is a fair price, well, guess what? On Amazon, you're only selling that item for $200. You're not selling that for $1,000. What happens is I used to get so upset when I would get the delisting pricing. And then shout out to West Coast Goods. I brought it to his attention, and he would tell me, he's like, honestly, that's going to save you one day, and you're going to be glad that that's there. And you know what? It did twice. It saved me from pricing errors and from being, selling a product with, potential $80 profit, down to $20 profit. So it saved me a couple times. This is what I do to fix that. What I do is literally dollar by dollar, I figure out what's Amazon's highest price. And once I find that and it goes active without going inactive, I then go into my repricer, and for the maximum price, I'll put that top dollar bid and then adjust my minimum accordingly. That's all you really can do. Let's see. Fuwei says, have you bought any Mandalorian Baby Yoda plushes? I know people are selling them like crazy, especially on eBay. I have not even seen any Mandalorian plushes. But I have been buying a lot of Mandalorian lights. And I see a lot of you guys are buying Mandalorian lights. So shout out to all you guys going out to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, picking up those Mandalorian lights. $16.99, selling anywhere between $35 and $54. You're the real winner. Shout out to all you guys making that money. And speaking of making money, before I continue with this, let me tell you something right now. I'm speaking to the people who want to know why I share what I buy. Let me say something. I don't share everything that I buy, because to me, that's foolish. If I was to share everything that I buy, then everybody would be on those listings, and let's be real, it would tank the price. You have so many sellers, right? So a lot of times with my RA, I share what I buy because RA is not my bread and butter. And quite frankly, I'll share whatever the hell I want, period. You know what I'm saying? That out of the way. When I share my RA, wholesale is my real bread and butter. I will never share my wholesale, not yet, just because those are my replenishables. That's what keeps this business growing and going. But RA, I don't mind sharing. There's enough RA to go around for everybody. And if I can help people that need help, that will go out to these stores that are accessible to them, Walmart, Target, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. If you guys can get to these stores, other stores that I don't even have, Ross, right? All these stores, if you could go out there and pick up products and make good profits, and you guys can climb out of a hole that you might have been in, or maybe you're just making side money to help save more money, or whatever it is your situation is, because everybody's different. If I can help provide that information to you, I feel good about myself. Let's keep it real. I feel good about myself. You know what I mean? And another thing I want to clear out of the way real quick is a lot of people asking me, because I put a post up that said, oh, maybe, and I did use the term maybe a bunch of times, maybe I'll share how to get ungated in Nike one day, right? I said, maybe I'll do that because everybody's charging $500,000, ridiculous. But I understand why they're charging money. I get it. The game is to be sold, not told. I understand that. But what I do is, honestly, if I was to tell everybody how to be ungated in certain brands, the term goes, why spite your nose? Why chop off your nose to spite your face? It's gonna cost big competition, and prices are gonna plummet, and it's not fair to those people that are ungated in those brands that are making a living. So while I am not charging people for the information, I do implore you to do your research. It's right there in front of your face. When I found out, I had like an oh shh moment. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's been here the whole time. And that's really all I can tell you. If you get ungated at Nike and Adidas, let me know. Because listen, I spent 3 years reselling. Nobody told me a thing, but I eventually did it. And I'm not salty at people that didn't tell me. It's just when you look at the other side of the coin, yeah, you want to say, oh, I'll tell everybody about this. But honestly, it's not fair to the people that spent years trying to be ungated in these brands that weren't told these brands. So I've been telling people straight up, I'm not going to give that information out unless you're really close to me. Then we can talk. We trade off secrets. But I'm not publicly going with that information. Not fair to everybody else who's been hustling for years to get that information. So I just want to get that out of the way, make that clear. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page because a lot of things have been changing right now. So I want to clear it out. Let's see what else we got going on. I see my chat going crazy out here. You hear my 1.5-year-old? She loves to hustle too. She's yelling. She's like, Richie hustles. Let's see. Prince of the Sands, hey brother, started a part-time job, okay? Sup, hi, Anthony, hi Richie, thanks for doing this. Carrie, yeah, okay. Hold on one second. Do you have an issue with products? Well, I'm trying to find where I was. There it is. I look also, high pricing errors are killing me this year. What are you doing to fix yours, Marvin? I answered that. Butterfly Hustle says, hustle grind all day. Let's see what other questions we got here. Richie is a beast with the uploads during Q4. It's hard. Let's see. Jamie M says, I am terrified of shipping. I can't get it cheap enough. Give me all the advice you can. Like, for example, I have 2 Fisher-Price Smart Cycles, and I can't list them because I'm scared of the shipping. Here's the deal. List them. If you have 2, how about this? I'll come buy them from you, and I'll even give you 100 a piece. How's that? Okay? List them. List them merchant fulfilled. Don't worry about the shipping. Don't worry about it. Shipping's going to be like $50. It might even be cheaper. I think it was like $32 to ship mine. Who cares? You just sold it for $300. You spent $50. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make a profit. List it. Before it's too late. List it. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of people in the chat. Thanks so much for being here. I'd say this is the one thing I love about these lives is you guys, when you guys join, you guys like are so active in the live. It's so appreciative. I love that because I love talking to each and every one of you trying to like see all the use. You hear the Italian come out of me, the Boston Italian. Yeah, use. That's real smart on a live, Richie. Good job. Most vlogmas don't have full-time jobs. Facts. Those are facts, man. Do you also do a lot of OA? So I was doing OA over the summertime, mostly with health, household, and beauty. With the unprecedented, call for action on Q4, I've been really RA in a lot of these places, and I ain't got no time to wait for 2-day shipping. I want to get it now, prep it in 24 hours, ship it out, be gone. Let's see. Working is to live. You have way more to live for. Thank you. Appreciate it, Karen. The Dennis chat. Winner, chicken dinner chat. Okay, we can go with that. Hey there from Oklahoma. Love your videos and the fact that you take the time to explain. I have learned so much. That's from Salina de Luz. Salina, thank you for being here. all the way from Oklahoma. You know, it's funny because my wife's friend moved from Boston to Oklahoma to be with her husband. I think they're now divorced, whatever it is. I always wanted to go to Oklahoma, and I always told my wife, I said, let's just pack up and go somewhere. Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kentucky. I'd love to go to any one of those places. So shout out to you out in Oklahoma. Let's see. Butterfly Hustles. Yep. See, you corrected it. Dinners. That's how we do it. Dinners. Park the car and have a dinner. Let's see. Let's get those dinners. Butterfly. Yeah. Felipe says, do you ever get anxious with maybe sitting on too many items that aren't selling as fast as you'd like? No. No, I definitely don't get anxious on that. What I do get anxious is that I don't have enough time to get out there and get more stuff. Sometimes you're going to have to price items accordingly where you're going to lose. It's going to happen. You're not going to win on every product. You might research and you might look at things and say, hey, I'm going to win on this product. You're not going to win on every product. The sooner you accept the fact that you are going to fail at things sometimes and you learn from that is the only time when you're going to succeed. So, I don't get anxious with it. What I do is I discount it enough where I can either break even or, if after 30 days I can't even break even, then I have to take a loss. I want to get that out of there because what I don't want to do is I don't want to end up taking a loss after paying Amazon storage fees for keeping it there. Then I'm going to get double whammied. So I want to clean it out of there and I want to get it out. That's what I do. See, Brian says Wisconsin. What's up, Brian, out in Wisconsin? John says, what's up, Richie? Been watching all the videos and you're killing it. Much appreciated. Thank you for being here, John. Much love. Let's see. Man, been scraping in TJ. Yeah, Colby. TJ Maxx has been killing it, man. We got TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods. All of them around my area have been restocking items. So I've been really lucky to get some of the items over and over and over again. Things that I have not seen in these replenish are the cycles. Those are not replenished, man. Those are like far and few in between. Let's see. Hey, those Super Mario controllers have plummeted to $11 or less. Man, I'm so glad I sold mine when I did then. I was merchant fulfilling those. You hear my daughter, right? Just yelling. Let's see. Wendy says, hey, everyone from Mississippi. Mississippi in the building. How are you? Let's see. One of the hardest working guys in the game. I appreciate that, RJ. Thank you. Gavin says, yo, made it to another live. How you doing? Let's see. The middleman picker in the building. Colby says 2K in Amazon sells. A lot of it was to your help and advice. Colby, I appreciate that. And look, I'm just trying to help everybody. Listen, we can all make money. There is 161 million items in the toys category alone. There is plenty of opportunity to make money. You know what I mean? Salute to that. Let's see, the last 20 days, no snow, just wet in Washington. That's right. Okay, all right. You're going to get snow soon enough. I live in Boston, so I'm sure it's only inevitable that we get snow as well, Uh-oh, we got a super chat in the building from the champ. $5 super chat that says, no question, this is just for the Vegeta love. My all-time favorite, he doesn't get enough respect. I believe that too. Vegeta is a bad beep. You know what I mean? I don't want to swear in the lie. I don't want YouTube to flag me. Keep them dinners coming. Much love. The champ, I'll drink to that. Salud. All right. I like it when you say dinners. Funny thing is, I actually lived in Georgia about 20 years ago, and everybody always wanted me to say things that had an R at the end because the R was pronounced ah. It's just, it is what it is, like the car. Go to the car. People don't even know what I'm saying. I remember, I'll tell you one thing real quick. We'll keep it moving. I was in, I think I was in Burger King, or I was in one of those fast food chains in the drive-thru, and I was ordering a high C. I wanted a high C with what I was eating. And you know what I got? I got an iced tea. Because they thought I was saying iced tea when I was like, can I get a high C? They thought it was iced tea. I don't know. Whatever. Womp, womp, womp. I thought it was funny. But that's what happens when you live in the South. I love the South, by the way. Florida. You see me coming soon, Florida. All right. Selena says, can you adopt me so I can get your ungated secrets? Selena, I already got 2 kids and a wife. I got enough animals running around in my house. It's all love, babe. Jake Linden, I hope I said your name correctly, says, I like when you say, oh, we already said that. Sorry. You are, Jen Life says, you are hashtag goals, hashtag much love, Jen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning into The Hustle. Guys, we got almost 50 people in the chat on a live. That's a world record. Usually we have a lot when I'm out live. But if you're just joining here, just take 2 seconds. Please smash that like button. It's a free way to support my channel. It shows everybody that you're enjoying The Hustle. Obviously, it helps the YouTube algorithm. It lets me know that you're here and that you're enjoying these informative Friday night hustles. All you have to do, a lot of people don't know how to smash the like button. If you're on your phone, just hit the X on the live chat, exit for a minute, smash the like, and then hit live chat, and you're back in the hustle. Thank you for helping hit that like button. Let's keep it moving. Let's see. Jen says, I messaged you on IG. I know you are busy. I want to be like you when I grow up. Jen, I do not recall any message on IG. You might have landed in my request section of the inbox. I'll be sure to check that after the live and answer your DM that you sent. Let's see. All my smart cycles sold. Yep. The middleman, you can get the buyer to pay the shipping also. Chicago here. J-Wax, Chicago, Chi-Town in the building. FYI, shopping cart's not a... It's a shopping cart, not a carriage. Cinderella took a carriage to the ball, but I take a shopping cart in Walmart. That's a good one. Logan says everyone needs to obliterate the like button. Just don't destroy your phone. Fisher Price and my coworker scanned a $7. Yeah, so I saw, I slept on that Walmart. They had, it was like a Fisher Price, Playhouse or something. $7. I think it was normally $69.99 or something. My Walmart didn't have any, but I haven't been in a Walmart in over a week. And this Friday, when we do the live hustle, we're going to go somewhere special. I'm thinking we're going to go to either Burlington. I've never filmed in Burlington, but I think we're going to do it this time. Let's see. The middleman picker, Amazon fees will kill your profits. But honestly, the middleman, any fees are going to kill your profits. So what you need to do is make sure you're making enough profit to make it worth it. That's why a lot of times I don't like to go to the Dollar Tree and sell on Amazon, because what happens is when I go to the Dollar Tree, a lot of times when you scan those items, you only make $1 or $2 per item, and that's okay if you're pulling 100 items or whatnot. But you got to think of this: if you're like me and you need or you choose to have Amazon prep and pack your items, you're talking about $1.50 in extra cost. So I try to shoot for at least $5 profit when I'm doing a inexpensive item. Generally, I like to shoot for 50% ROI. If I'm spending 10, I need to make 5 in profit, which means we have to take back 15, right? If we spend 10, we need to take back $15. You take $10 out of your 15, that's your cost. You're left with $5 profit. That's your return on your $10 investment. 50%, okay? If you do that and you make $15 profit, $15, and you're only making $5 profit, well, now you paid Amazon to polybag your plush, okay? That's 50 cents. You're paying them to label it. That's 30 cents. You're up almost $1. So you're not making 50%. You're making 40%. It's still okay. But if you bought 100 of those, you're talking about, you're not talking about 40 cents. You know what I mean? You're talking about $40. And if you do that enough, it is going to eat away your profit. Be mindful and make sure you shoot for at least a good profit margin. If you're just starting out, I do not recommend having Amazon do the prepping and the packing, because when you're just starting, you need to understand the way Amazon conducts business first before you decide to pay Amazon to do anything else other than host your item. I'll tell you an example. My methodology about having Amazon pay for this, because a lot of people are like, why don't you just do it yourself? Well, it's because I don't want to spend 2-3 hours prepping 100, 200, 300 items to ship out. I would rather pay Amazon, 60 to $100 for 3-4 hours to do it for me, because why not? It's just like if I hired an employee to do the prepping and the packing, it would be the same thing. I'd be paying them an hourly wage, $15, $16, $18 an hour. Okay? So if I'm paying Amazon $60 to do the same thing I would pay, an employee to work 3 hours, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Don't look at it as, oh, I'm giving Amazon more money. I'm already paying them a monthly fee. I'm paying them a percentage. I'm paying them a pick and pack. Now I have to pay them to prep my items. You can't have that mentality. You have to know your numbers, know what your item is going to bring back for profit, and understand the value in having those 2 to 3 hours back so you could go out and hit 2 or 3 more stores to make potential profits even higher. Okay, that's the way I think about that. Let's see. Guys, sorry, I'm backed up on the chat. Amazon, okay, there we are. Good, okay, Colby, just hopping on to get ungated in toys soon. It's hard to walk into TJ's, Marshalls, and Ross and see the dinners, and they only, man, listen, I understand. I totally understand that it stinks to go in and not be able to sell toys. It does. It's like you want to be like, you just want to choke yourself. Ugh, you know what I mean? But I was ungated in toys about 3 to 4 months into selling. What I did, I simply just kept doing what I had to do. I had velocity. I sold a ton of books for the first year exclusively, and I just kept selling and selling and selling. And when I moved into RA, I was getting into things too. I couldn't sell almost anything. I had to get ungated in Manhattan Toys. Who the hell ever heard of Manhattan Toys? Okay, I heard about them now, but like that's not like a major brand. You know what I mean? And it stinks. But what you have to do is you just gotta stay positive. Sell a lot of what you can sell. Okay, sell a lot of it. If you're not selling a lot of it, you have to do some research and find distributors online. A simple Google research will say, if you put something like toy distributors, it's too broad. Don't do that. Put toy distributors in the state you live in. Toy distributors in the area, like mine would be New England, that you live in. Toy distributors in the US. Toy distributors, whatever it is. And then what you could do is you don't need to, I started an LLC from the jump, like from the very beginning. I started an LLC because I knew this was something that I wanted to do for the long term. You don't have to do that, okay? You can start a sole prop, okay, which you can use your social security number and have a DBA. John Doe doing business as ABC Toys. It's that simple, okay? You go on to irs.gov, you get a free EIN number. You don't even need that. Like I said, you can use your social, because when you apply to these distributors, you're going to need some kind of validity that you are a business, okay? A lot of times they don't want to open up accounts for individuals. It's really for business. So the EIN helps. You can still have a sole prop with an EIN. The EIN's free, and when you apply online to irs.gov, you can get it immediately and print it off online. It's that easy, okay? Go to the bank, open up a sole prop, open up a business account with a sole prop using your EIN or your social. Get it done. Just do it, okay? However you want to do it, okay? You can make it happen. And then get distributors, and then you'll be able to get ungated in toys. Let's see. Find adopted sister. Adopted sister. Okay. Brian smashed. Thank you, everybody, smashing that like button. Let's see. Drew says, Drew here from Kansas. Love the videos. Do you need to be a wholesaler to get ungated in toys? Absolutely not. I was doing, when I got ungated in toys, I was selling books. And then I got ungated in toys. And when I was started to like dip my feet in the water of retail arbitrage, once I was ungated in toys, I was like, yes, right? But that happiness only lasted for like 2 days because I was finding that I was ungated in toys, but gated in brands. So like I couldn't sell Marvel, Mattel, Hasbro, Monopoly, DC, all these brands. And I was like, well, what's the point of me being able to sell in toys if I can't sell these brands? So it's just continuing to stay positive, selling everything that you can sell. Focus on that. And you guys, you gotta sell a lot of it. Show Amazon that you mean business. You're not sending out 2, 3 products a week. You're sending out 200, 300. You know what I mean? You're constantly filling large boxes, sending them into FBA. You're letting Amazon know, hey, I'm making you money. You need to sell my products because you get a piece of the pie every time you sell a product of mine. Sell a lot of what you can, please. Let's see. I do have a legit question. Says Selena, when you started reselling, you started with books, right? Yes, that is correct. I started with books. Is that what Amazon always starts you at? Do you use a handheld scanner or just your phone? So I am not sure what Amazon allows now. I know things have changed in 2, 3 years. What I will tell you is that there's no rhyme or reason. There really isn't. When it comes to Amazon, Amazon is simply just going to let you sell what it thinks you should sell. Nobody knows the metrics. Nobody knows, Nobody knows the metrics. Nobody knows how much sales you have to have. Nobody knows how many products you have to sell. You just have to do it. I'll tell you what I did do, though. What I did do, though, is I applied, I tried to get auto ungated in something, and I would try a bunch of times per week, on a single thing. If I want a Mattel, I would literally apply once a day for a week. In some brands, I got auto ungated after a certain amount of time. I don't know if it's time or sales. All I know is I went hard and I sold a ton of books, and I was profitable over the length of a time, and I think that helped me. You just applied for Amazon, waiting for my post. Yeah, absolutely. The first step is getting started. Guys, something else I want to talk about is Walmart. I haven't been there in over a week. Over 1 week. After our last live, I decided via IG post that I was going to take a little break from Walmart, and I was going to start visiting TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods. Listen, you got to follow the money. You got to follow the money. I have not even been in a Target probably in 3 weeks. Target disappointed me. What I did want to tell you, though, is that I did step up my game with collectibles. And not just collecting collectibles, but doing things like, for instance, Pokemon booster boxes, okay? This cost me, I think, just under $80. Might have been $70-something, $80, right? I just sold one today, merchant fulfilled for $130. So we made $50 profit on Pokemon booster boxes. How did I get a Pokemon booster box? I Googled Pokemon trading card distributors, and I applied. And now I have access to one of the hottest trending card games that used to be the hottest trending card games over 20 years ago. It's coming back. And now I have access to wholesale prices. We order these by the case. A case, 6 of them come in a case. I have I've got about $5,000 in pre-orders for the next sets that are coming out, Shining Fates in February, because I want to make sure that, and these are supposed to be bigger than Voltage. We're talking buying them for $75, $70 a box. We're talking about selling them for $200, $300 a piece. I got about 50 booster boxes on pre-order, as well as some other sets. So I think February, while I'm trying to plan ahead, a lot of people complain about Christmas returns, right? This is how I'm thinking, how I'm going to offset maybe a slow month in Amazon. I am preparing by thinking outside the box. Not only that, I'm going to start doing box breaks. And I'm not sure if I want to do a box break on this channel or if I want to utilize my second channel, which is the one called Hustleholics, which was created because I wanted to put everything hustle. You know what I mean? Everything and anything. If you're trying to make money, then that's what it would be. I might do one box break on this channel just to see how it goes. We'll probably do it live because I think that's more fun to do it live. And if it goes well, maybe we'll start selling packs. I already have RichieHustles.com reserved. I have Hustleholics.com. We already have those websites. We already have those domain names saved, even though they are not active yet. And what I might do is, for all my Pokemon heads or collectors or anybody who's looking to invest, make an investment. This is Rebel Clash. I wouldn't sell packs out of this box, but I do have a what do you call it? A Vivid Voltage booster box sealed that's going to be coming, and I might be selling packs out of it and then opening them live on this channel because this is where the viewers are. My other channel only has about 50 subscribers. There are no videos uploaded yet because I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go. But this is another way that we're hustling to make money, and it's fun. This is fun. My younger brother used to be into Pokemon pretty heavily. And when Pokemon came out, I was like 16, 17. So I was a little old for it at the time when it first came out. My brother was born in 88. So, he was he was 8 years old collecting Pokemon cards, 10 years old and all that good stuff. But now people of all ages, this is an investment. It's not just for little kids anymore. You know what I mean? So that's just an update on that. I have a ton of different ideas, some fun ideas. You guys know I used to put up Funko Flips, my Funko Pops, but man, I'm telling you, this Pokemon stuff is taking over. It's fun. Let's get back to the chat. Thanks for listening to that. 60 people on the live. Guys, smash that like button. Welcome to the Friday night Hustle Hangout. If you don't already know, I'm Prince Vegeta, a.k.a. Richie Hustles. And we're here in the building asking questions, talking about Amazon, talking about whatever it is you want to talk about. This is what we do. It's what we do. My time, I'm giving back to you. All right, let's see. Just want to say thank you for all your videos. You're changing my life video by video like a masterclass. LOL. Thank you for real, says Jamie M. Jamie M, thank you. That really means a lot to me. Honest to God, if I can help people and if I can help change their not change what they do, but I think change how they think. You know what I mean? All too often people look at things and say, I'll never be able to do what that person does, and you've already failed. You know what I'm saying? You've already failed. You can't do that. I was just getting a little water. Hold on, I gotta finish this real quick. Might have to refill. But that's awesome, Jamie. Really glad to hear. Glad that you are in the hustle and you have got started on what many people, if you've started, you've already beat a ton of other people that are struggling just to start. So kudos to you. Anthony Vieira says, I always look forward to your Friday night Q&A. I have 2 questions. I've noticed that on my returns, they refund the customers more than what I've made. Have you experienced that? So, Anthony, when they're refunding the customer, they're refunding everything that the customer has paid, which is obviously included everything that you've made. So, if the item sold for $60, right? But you're seeing a refund of like 64 something or 65 something. Chances are, if it's merchant fulfilled, they paid sales tax on it. So that's what I found is that the sales tax, obviously, that goes back to the customer. That's what they paid for that item. But is there a certain dollar amount where it's been extraordinary? Like somebody paid $60, but they got refunded like 85? Let me know. Butterfly Hustle says, smash the like button, peeps. Appreciate it. Jay Wax says, I've been skipping Walmart because they don't have anything lately. I agree. Burlington puts all of their tags over the barcode. Super annoying. Bring a scraper. That's good. That's actually a good idea. Thank you for that. Now, on the on toys and other items, we are going to do like probably picture searches. But when we go into Nike, Adidas, we look at clothing or anything like that, I will bring a scraper just in case. Or we'll just peel that thing off. I don't even care. Whatever. But thank you for the heads up. What's the most profit you made from one item? Oh my God, I really don't know. I forget, man. It's been, we're going on year 3. I think I think one of my best buys that I can think of from this year was buying chandeliers from Lowe's on clearance for $30 to $35, depending on the location. This was a BrickSeek deal. Okay, so my membership coming in full circle, paying $30 to $35 for a 6-candle chandelier and selling it for almost $300 merchant fulfilled, and the shipping was like $20. So we made a good profit there. And I think I grabbed like 6 or 7 of them. I mean, I drove almost to the Cape. For those of you that don't know, the Cape from me is like an hour away. I've drove to or more than an hour away, but the start of the Cape, which is like the coastal section of Massachusetts, where, if you know Massachusetts, it's where like the hooks, like whatever. I've driven down there to try to get a couple because the profit was so good, Second question on FBA: if the carrier delivers the item later than promised and the customer returns, should I be at fault? This is one of my gripes with Amazon, and what I found was that if the customers promised the item on the 1st and it gets delivered, just say on the 2nd, the customer sends a question to you saying, "Hey, I want a refund. My package was delivered late." If this is merchant fulfilled, I 100% of the time say, "Unfortunately, I will not be able to provide a refund due to the shipping structure of the method of shipping that you've chosen." So, when I say shipping that you've chosen, standard shipping, second day, whatever it might be, is really up to the customer. Now, how I ship it to them depends on me. And generally, the USPS and the UPS are generally pretty accurate. But when you're merchant fulfilling items, you have a little bit more control of your product. Now, Amazon, when you FBA items, Amazon will honestly always refund the customer. And that's okay. What I do is when a customer asks a question, and I just lost where I was going with that. If the customer requests a return and it's FBA and they send you a message first, because this has happened to me, what I say is I make sure that item is delivered, and then I say, okay, please, and this is only if the item is delivered. You never want to tell a customer to do this unless you have delivered confirmation. And what it'll do is it'll say, I'll tell them to file an A to Z claim with Amazon, and it won't go against me. You know what I mean? This happens when merchant fulfilled items I send out. So if I wasn't clear enough, let me know or DM me. Let's see. The middleman picker, I meant the storage fees will kill your profits. Yes, that is true. If your items aren't moving, storage fees can kill your profits and will kill your profits. Felipe says, I'll go prep for some of those Pokemon boxes. Do you pay for single box placement or do you think it's a waste? What do you mean? Are you talking about when you're shipping to the facility where you can select, hey, did you finish eating? Yes. You did? Okay, good. Do you want to ask me a question? My daughter's been staring at me for 10 minutes. Let me just see what my daughter needs. What's up?
So, can I hang out?
Not right now because, look, I'm on a live. You want to wave and say hi to everybody? You want to just sit here with me?
Yeah.
All right. Just sit here with me. All right. So, but be a good girl, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So, single box. So I pay for just the regular distributed placement. I do not pay extra to have my things sent to specific warehouses. It's generally it generally goes to where it needs to go. What are you doing? What are you doing? The future, right here. This is the future. And then my other little one that's over there eating, they're both the future. So, all right. Go ahead and watch TV. We're going to play Spider-Man after, right? All right. Thanks, Valentina. So, let's get back to it. So, you're a MySpace legend. I love you, DJ Play, says King Shaver. MySpace. Who remembers MySpace? Wow, that's going way back. Shout out to you for recognizing me as DJ Play. That's a throwback. See, Jamie M says, question, where do you get boxes from? So I get boxes from either Walmart or Home Depot. Lowe's has good boxes, but they tend to be a little bit pricier. And I definitely buy in bulk. I've looked into places like Uline to buy hundreds of boxes. The problem I'm having is I don't have any place in the garage to put hundreds of boxes. So, ideally, I'd like to buy them in bulk online. But right now I'm buying them in Walmart and Home Depot. EE Distribution is a good source to get ungated in toys. Marvin spilt the beans. EE Distribution is a good place to get ungated. Although I would say this, that's the this place, EE Distribution, is the only place. Not only. What am I trying to say? Like the products on EE Distribution, most of them are not good for reselling. They're only good for being ungated. Marvin spilling the beans in the chat. Jennifer says, hey, Richie, I'm from Philly. People make fun of the way we talk, too. Hey, we say talk. Sometimes I say coffee, like New Yorkers, but we say coffee. I don't say box. People in Connecticut, they say backs. It is what it is, right? Shout out to everybody who's got an accent that people can talk about. Let's see. Felipe says, FYI, talking about LLC and sold props, looking to be in tax as an S Corp. Yeah, so I thought about looking into an S Corp. I do not know a lot about it. I'm not a tax expert, but I'm telling you right now, with the sales volume I have this year, put it into perspective. Last year, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not a tax expert, but it's definitely an S Corp for my LLC. Is definitely I'm looking into getting an S Corp for taxation purposes. LLC from the start, it was the best thing they did. Yep, the E&M saves you a lot of money in the stores. Yes, and honestly, I like separating EIN from your social. Who wants to put their social security number down on all the forms all the time? You're emailing documents all the time, PDF files. Who wants your social out there? If you can have your EIN for your business separately, why not? It doesn't cost you anything. You know what I mean? So that's a good call from the Middleman Picker. Let's see. Fuwei says, where did you get your books for super cheap? Library sales? Absolutely. Library sales. Going to $5 bag sales where you fill up a bag, a paper grocery bag full of books. I can remember coming home, and even my wife could attest to this. I would bring home 20 to 50 bags of books on a weekend. And sometimes when it's too cold in the garage, I got to bring them in the kitchen and setting them up and stacking them up on the floor and like going on the counter and putting them all up. And
super annoying.
My wife, shout out to my wife, says it's super annoying when you cover the kitchen in books. Super annoying? Yeah, I know.
You haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I've only been to, libraries have been closed. But library sales definitely, because at the end of the day, you're averaging anywhere between 20 to 35 cents a book. You know what I mean? Like, it's worth it. It's worth it, especially if you're getting volume, you know? What's the best way to estimate shipping? FBA, not a fan of Target either, says Kristen. Kristen, so the best way to estimate shipping on FBA is to really just get into it. You just got to get into it. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if Amazon has a model where you can kind of like theoretically say, if I had X, would it cost me Y and Z, right? Because you have to have inventory in order to put that into the shipping queue. What I would do is anything that you have that you're going to ship into FBA, what you can do is you could take all those products, act like you're going to ship it into FBA, right? Go through the motions, and then see if you were to put those all between your boxes, if you were to ship everything, what it would cost you, right? And if it's too high, delete it. Amazon doesn't like you doing this all the time, but you can delete it, and then what you can do is wait till you get a little bit more, And then you can, what you don't want to do is you just don't want to leave empty space in the box. You know what I mean? I understand sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have fragiles or you want to pack paper in there and then close the box, and that's okay. But most of the boxes, you want to Frankenbox it. You want to cut the edges, fold that so it fits exactly what you put in there. Let's see. The middlemen join Facebook groups because some of the people in these groups help you get engaged in items. Yeah, Facebook groups are great. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of free knowledge that's in a lot of these groups. Gavin says, I tried to apply for Amazon and they shafted me. So now I have to create a new account to apply again. Yeah, I don't know, Gavin. Not sure what's going on there, brother. King Shaver says, that's some great scalps on that Pokemon box. Damn. What do you mean scalps? This is legit. This is sealed straight up from distributors. Trust me. No scalping here. Logan says, where can I see my profit on an FBM sale? So what I do is when I list the item for a merchant fulfilled, I will use the calculator to already know my profit. And the only difference is going to be if I calculate $10 for shipping, which is generally what I put because that's the average. Excuse me. Sometimes it'll cost me 8. Sometimes it'll cost me 12. Sometimes it'll cost me 18. But generally, I float around the $10 to $12 range, depending on the weight of the item. And what you need to do is you just need to make sure you know your profit before you start shipping. Now, what you could do is while you're conducting your merchant fulfilled item, when you're in that, we have to add the dimensions of the box in the weight. What you can do is in the upper right-hand corner, you can see how much that customer paid in total, including the tax. And what you can do is you can go to your listing, check out the FBA fees. The FBM fees, because there is a fee, right? They take a percentage. Minus that from the total, minus your shipping cost, minus the tax, because you're not going to get any of that tax money. And then that's what you're going to make, minus the cost of goods, and that's what you get. I don't think there's really an easy way to see your profit unless you pull up merchant fulfilled items on the report section where you could just see all of the profit. And then what you do is you take your cost of goods minus from that profit, you know? Let's see. Elvina says, happy to catch another live. Glad you're here, Elvina. Let's see. Matt Scoggin says, what's good, dude? Made it. Thank you for being here, Matt. We're almost at the time where we're going to end this live soon, but thank you for being here. How about we chat about campaigns and promoted items? What do you do, or do you even do it? So, I do pay Amazon to promote certain items and only my replenishables. I do not pay Amazon any promotional money to pay to put like my RA items. I don't pay for Amazon to do that, but I do pay for Amazon when I'm buying 5, 6, 7, 800 of an item. For instance, maybe I buy a lotion or a soap or a cleaner or a certain toy, whatever I'm buying in bulk. Sometimes if the profit is there, I will pay Amazon a certain amount of money to promote that item. And the way I do it is if I say, okay, I'll throw $100 to promote an item. Well, if I'm promoting 100 items and I'm paying Amazon $100 to promote it, then that's an extra $1 profit out of each item. You just have to calculate that. I do pay sometimes, not all the time, and not for retail arbitrage items. Walmart clearance sucks lately. I agree. Sick of only finding school supplies. I know they're going to have those school supplies up for friggin' years. I recently scored art and craft item for 48 cents. Sold for $28. Kristen killing it. I'm from the Cape. All right, Kristen. Good for you. Where did you buy it from? 48 cents sold for $28. That's a winner chicken dinner. Shout out to you for that. Anthony says on FBA, I had a Barbie clinic that I made $70 on it, and they gave the customer almost $80 from my profit balance, and this is aside from tax. I do not know. Was it, maybe it was a shipping? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. Without looking at the data, I don't know. Let's see. I also want to gripe about how when you suggest an edit to a listing and they don't do it, and then your item gets returned to Amazon. I know. I feel your pain. eBay Addicts in the building. How is Richie Hustles doing tonight? eBay Addicts, Jeff. We're doing good. We finished our crown on the rocks, and now we're just sipping some water. I'm getting ready to eat some real dinner in a little bit. We're almost coming to a close. We're going on. Right now, we've been on for an hour. And we'll probably go on for a few more minutes before I end. I just want to try to get to everybody's question. Shout out to eBay Addicts. Instead of splitting SKUs into multi-boxes, if you like, I like that you're a dad and you incorporate it. You have 3. Yeah, listen, there's no escaping, right? I'll tell you this. I couldn't do it in the bedroom tonight because the bedroom was not bedroom ready, video ready. You know, my work stuff is there and stuff, and it just wasn't ready. So I said, okay, I'll have to do it in the dining room, but now I have to deal with kids. And honestly, I have to say, my 2 kids and family, I think everybody's been generally pretty good. Shout out to my wife for doing damage control. It's funny because in the corner of my eye this way, when if the baby's crying or something, I see her like running to the baby or something. It's just so shout out to my wife for doing damage control. It's not easy, it's not easy being a mom, a dad, doing this stuff. It's not easy. You know what I mean? Have you bought a liquidation pallet? No. I always wanted to. I just have no way to transport it home. In my household, we have 2 SUVs, and even though they're large, you pretty much need to either rent a truck or have a pickup to put that pallet on, because there's no way you're going to fit that in an SUV unless you unpack it, and you need a pickup truck. There's a few warehouses near me that are selling them, but I know most of them are returns that might be broken. I don't have that experience. There is a guy that I follow. His name on YouTube is Franchise Kicks. He does a lot of Funko Pop unboxings, comic book unboxings, but he buys pallets all the time, and he does videos where he goes into the warehouses and he shows you like the pallets that he might buy, and he does pallet unboxing. He does Amazon returns. Really cool. His name is Clint, and I think he lives in like Indiana or something like that. But his name on YouTube is Franchise Kicks. So check him out if you want to talk about pallets. I find it interesting, and I have it playing in the background sometimes. I like watching his stuff. Super difficult to make any money from EE? Absolutely. Like I said, EE is only for ungating. They're basically Walmart. Yeah. 65 people on the live. Yeah, RJ. Listen, these. I think a lot of people like these Friday night. They can ask what they want. They can be who they want. It is what it is. We're just chilling. I appreciate it. And everybody's smashing that like button. Right now, I'm looking up, and we have almost an equal amount of likes as we do viewers, which is fantastic. Thank you all for supporting me. Infomercial, I'd be good at that, right? I'd be good at that. Guys, thank you so much for smashing that like button. We're in the live. We're in the hustle.
You said fantastic.
Fantastic. We'll make that a catchphrase. All right, guys, we're coming up to a close. How can you be a wholesale place, but it's not okay for resale? How can you be a wholesale place, but it's not okay for resale? I'm not sure I understand that, Karen. Let's see, accented laugh. Down here in Kentucky, everybody has accents. I love a good Southern accent too. And you know what it is? I think the attraction to accents come from not being around it all the time. So if you're up north, you have an accent. Down south, people love it, right? If you're what are you doing? You're making weird faces on the live. Come on, 444. Oh, 4. Give a 444 and then go sit down. Go ahead, quick. Okay, go ahead. We're gonna play Spider-Man after we eat, okay? Thank you, honey. Please go, okay? Eleni, mommy. So, damage control. So, I know you have said this before, so I apologize. What would be the apps you recommend when you are first starting? Amazon Seller app. There's no need to pay for anything else at first. Amazon Seller app can basically do everything that you need it to do. FBM, I meant, yeah, okay. Do you Frankenbox merchant fulfilled orders? Yes. If I need to, yes. Can you give a suggestion for poly bags and a good price? Look, I'll tell you right now, I hate poly bagging. All the Elmos you see me buy, I pay Amazon a poly bag. It's so much cheaper if I did it. I just don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do it. So I pay Amazon to do it. Can you let's see, who keep and collect tax after sold items? So most of the states Amazon does. Amazon takes care of most of that. How was opening the Pokemon cards? Get anything good? Oh my god. So I did open, this is the Rebel Clash set. I did open up a box myself, and it was just a good feeling. I did get a couple of VMAX and V cards in there, and I'm going to start doing some videos on it, probably be on my other channel. But for the first couple box breaks, I think I'm going to do it on this channel. Like I said, I have Vivid Voltage coming in. I have Crimson Invasion. I got a case of Crimson Invasion coming in. I have like 50 boxes of booster sets of the new Shining Fates on pre-order. That's coming out in February. So I want to change up the content a little bit. And also what I think I'm going to be bringing to this channel is there's going to be times where we just go in and look for deals in Walmart. Hidden clearance episodes where we're not, I mean, we might buy some stuff, but just really showing you all how to go in, how to access hidden clearance, how to use the Walmart how to use the Walmart app effectively, right? And how to look for this stuff. There's a lot of people that still don't know. Shout out to Super Unsexy. This guy is out in Walmarts all the time, all day, every day, with a wife and kids. He's out there showing everybody hidden clearance items, bolos for days. So shout out to Super Unsexy. All right, we're coming up to the last 3 questions, and then I'm going to pull the plug. Have you ever had Walmart cancel orders because you have been making money? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. So somebody had told me about these cool air intakes for trucks. Normally priced, I think they were like $285 a piece, and they were on Walmart's website for $52. I ordered 10 of them. Walmart, listen to this. It made it all the way across the country from California to Massachusetts before it was recalled and shipped back to Walmart. And when I called to find out why, they said, oh, because it was leaking. It's a cool air intake system. They don't leak. It wasn't an oil-based cool air intake system. This was a Can-Am, man. This was a Can-Am. This was a K&N. So I got screwed on that one. I spent $520 plus tax, and I was probably gonna make a little over $2,600. Oh my god, my wife just showed me the plate of food. It looks amazing right now. Oh my god, my mouth is watering.
Do you want to eat it here?
Do I want to eat it? I don't want to eat on the live, no. I want to relax on the live. No offense to you guys. You guys don't want to see me eating food either. You know what I'm saying? They got ASMR videos for that. You want to look at that crap. All right, listen, final couple questions. Can I take my load to local warehouse instead of shipping it? I've called Amazon on this. I actually have an Amazon in my town, a big Amazon warehouse. I cannot bring it there. I have to ship it to where Amazon says. They won't give you a reason. I wish I could just bring it to the Amazon warehouse. It is what it is. It's because Amazon doesn't want to pick up that extra shipping cost. You mentioned you got ungated in DVDs. Did you get auto ungated or did you use a supplier? 100% supplier. I did use a supplier for that. And if you used one, can you share if you don't mind? I cannot share right now. It's just a simple fact. Like I said, it goes back to my reasoning of, you know, it took me almost 3 years to be ungated in DVD and CD and everything, and it just wouldn't be fair to those that were ungated. I'm not going to charge anybody. Do your research. Again, it's right in front of your face. You just got to research DVD. I can tell you, just DVD, CD distributors. It'll come up. I just can't tell you what they are. But if you do that, it's on page 1 of Google. You'll find it. I promise you. All right. And the last comment, because I don't see any more comments here, is Alvina says, haha, love unsexy. Yeah, he's a character, man. I like him too. We chat via DM sometimes. Seems like a great guy. I love his style. I love the energy he brings. And I love the positive vibes he also brings. Definitely a good dude from what I see. So, guys, we went 10 minutes over. We're at the 70-minute, which means we've been on this for an hour and 10 minutes. I really appreciate everyone being here, participating, being interactive, asking your questions, joining us on this Friday night Hustle Hangout. Join me on Sunday at 6 p.m. I'm still not sure if I'm going to actually go to Burlington yet or somewhere else. I just know it's not going to be Walmart. Join me this Sunday, 6 p.m. We're doing a live hustle, winner chicken dinner. I'll catch you guys on the next hustle. I love you all. Peace out.